Hello, friends. This is Mr. Mullet Gaming presenting a review show dedicated to the RPG video game genre. Jovial after my recent beat of Dark Souls, I'm on location at historical Woodland Cemetery in beautiful Dayton, Ohio, the final resting place of the Wright brothers, first successful inventors of the airplane. As I pay my respects to these brothers who changed the world, I can't help but think about their souls and the power that they must contain. Today, I plan to investigate this further and report back my findings. Until then, I've taken the liberty of putting together a review of my Dark Souls experience. So be sure to locate your soul farming accoutrements and let's check it out. Developed by From Software and published by Bandai Namco for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 in 2011, Dark Souls takes players to the bleak and mysterious land of Lordran. In this action RPG, the focus is exploring dungeons and interconnected areas. Using a variety of strategies, including melee weapons, magic, dodging techniques, and parries, the player must fight through enemy infested areas to progress. In 2018, a remastered version of the game was released on all consoles and PC, which is the version I played on the Nintendo Switch. Much of the story presented within Dark Souls is focused on player interpretation. However, there is a cryptic story hidden within the game which is expanded over the series. Considering a first playthrough with limited referencing from the internet, the story presented is engrossing and doesn't overwhelm the player with a long, drawn out high fantasy diatribe. Rather, the player can freely choose what they want to learn through interactions with NPCs. Additionally, the story is not the focal point, and considering this encourages multiple playthroughs to establish a better understanding. What I feel is central to Dark Souls is the gameplay. As an action RPG, players will fight enemies in real time and will need to have a strategy when battling rivals. This correlates with how one levels up their character and the equipment that is applied. Overall, the gameplay, controls, and world progression were intuitive and satisfying. For my first playthrough, I went with the brute approach, focusing on close range melee weapons where strength over strategy prevail. Central to this, enhancements to health bar, stamina, strength, and dexterity were key to my leveling up options. This allowed my character to wield strong weapons and wear heavy armor. Standard grinding, or in this case, farming souls, is essential, but it's also important to explore your surroundings.
Hey! What are you doing?
It's not hard to pick up on the fact that I absolutely love my playthrough of Dark Souls, which I give an A+. This game proved to me that yes, an awesome RPG can be developed by a company that is not Square Enix, and yes, an extremely fun RPG doesn't have to include turn-based mechanics. There has always been discussion regarding the game's difficulty, and I won't lie to you, this game is very hard. I give it about a 9 out of 10 difficulty wise. But the difficulty presents a different aspect in the sense that the player learns from their failures and is motivated to vanquish the foe or progress through the area that brought them down. Tension is constantly with the player, which is heightened by the bleak and foreboding landscape. However, anxiety is enhanced further during battles, where if you do flee from a fight, the enemy will chase you down. The beauty of this game is found in the detail of the world design and the complexities it entails. Lordran is essentially an open world, but built upon layers. This is interesting as you can see different areas from a distance, which adds a unique element to the game. As the player traverses through the land, there is an emphasis on exploration. This is presented with glowing souls in the distance. Seeking out to collect these souls may uncover a new area. This can be seen as a reward for the player as they pillage a corpse for their treasures. Not all of the game is bleak and morbid. There are some comedic NPCs and messages plastered throughout the land. Completing this game in a little over 50 hours, I felt my time melt away as I played. In fact, I found myself once playing for about 5 hours in one sitting, which I can't remember the last time I did that. If you can get past its difficulty and length of gameplay, then I feel you will have an amazing playthrough. One last thing to note: Dark Souls has an amazing community. An aspect that enhanced my gameplay was the conversations I had regarding my progress on the Poly Media Discord channel. Special thanks to Bad Times, Scotch and Hobbies, and none other than the man himself, Vyar45, who encouraged me to play this game.
I've learned much during my experience playing Dark Souls. I learned that an action RPGs are very fun. From Software can make a fantastic RPG, and, well, it's not a good idea to exchange at a cemetery. The groundskeepers do not approve of this behavior. Well, that will do it for this episode. If you've played this game before, please let me know about your experience in the comments. That will do it for this episode.
Hey! Get back here!
Keep grinding.
Fresh milk. Fresh milk.